Hello and welcome to week 5 of 531 Introduction to Blockchain and Cryptocurrency. This week is Ethereum and smart contract platforms. I'm Dr. Michael Tabone. Real quickly on assignments this week, we have a couple chapters to read for Mastering Blockchain and Blockchain Revolution. And then there's the discussion post, which is you have to use citations, by the way, in all of your posts with all of your classmates and everything in APA 7 format, in text citations, and the reference list. This is a graduate program. Flexi Smart Labs 6 and 7, it says on here. Obviously, you don't have to do it. Some people have completed all their labs and submitted everything. Some people have submitted only 5. Some people are emailing me along with the bookstore or along with Flexi Smart. Let me know if you're having issues. It's week 5. We should have been working on getting access the entire time. And now we have to make sure we get it done because it is due. I'm not going to take any points off right now, but in week 8, I'm not extending the class, and it can't get extended past week 8. So you got to get it in and got to get it done as soon as possible. It's 450 points of your entire course. It's very important. Paper is going to be introduced this week, which is due next week, which is your third paper. And then the final paper is due in week 8. I gave you a template. Make sure you use the template because some people are not using the template and people are giving things in that are not in APA 7 format. There's a guide if you need. I'll send it to you again. It's in PDF. It's a PDF. It's free. That shows you everything. And there's the template that I provide that's in Word document. Good? Okay. So Ethereum is Solidity. You might be an Ethereum developer because you focus on Ethereum, but you're really a Solidity developer. So we need to start utilizing the jargon that is there. And good point. Let's get that kind of brings me into this VC thing. So that's kind of an okay segue. It's not the best segue, but it's a good segue into this whole entire thing. So let's go preview. Okay, here we go. So in 2025, VC investment, I want to make sure I get these numbers right because it's important. In 2024, there was only $17.3 billion of VC investment. Okay. In 2024. In 2025, there was 34.4 billion. Okay. So that's a tremendous amount of increase. It's fantastic. But the number of deals went down from 1,862 to 1,608. So there was more capital, great, awesome, in less deals. It's more concentrated, and the more concentrated they are, that means that people are having more due diligence with fewer momentum trades. People are not just, back in the day, it used to be just, what's your name? Well, how do you spell your companies? And they would write a check, and you'd have $100 million, and you'd have seed funding, and then you'd have a party and boats and all sorts of stuff. Great. Those times are over. People are doing more research, and you have to be the best. You have to be in the top 5% of the whole entire game for me to want to even hire you. If I'm part of a crypto project and we happen to do an interview and you're not showing in the top 5 of this whole entire game, you don't actually know this stuff off the top of your head, you don't know it like the back of your own hand, I don't really need to hire you. You can go work for whatever. You can, try to do your own thing. I don't really need you. I need the best. You need to be the best. You are part of a program here that is internationally recognized. It's only a couple of them. This is actually it. This is it. This is unique. Internationally recognized for being a business with blockchain program, master's program. Or maybe you're going for your PhD and this is part of the blockchain program. Awesome. You have to represent the best. If you're just going to go out there and just kind of try to be middle of the road, you're gonna have a problem out there in the world. So keep this in mind, and I'll show you some of these things. So the interesting deal volume went up tremendously in the beginning of 2024. And a lot of that you probably could say is because of outlooks that people had due to macro geopolitical things out in the world. Some of them having to do with different change in administrations in the United States. All of those kind of things, I think, might have helped with moving the needle towards people having some optimism, if you will. So part of this reason was the amount of funding in stages. Strategic went up tremendously. Strategic went up from like 2 billion all the way up, which means people looked at projects that already existed and said, this needs some strategic capital to make this happen. They didn't look at new projects. They looked at projects that were already in the works, that had some history. Again, looking for some kind of mitigate the risk, right? Mitigate the risk of the demitigate. They want to mitigate the risk they have. They don't want to demitigate. They want to mitigate the risk of investment as they push forward on their return. So that's their whole entire idea. So I'll show you this I'll upload this entire document for you to look at. It's very, very interesting. One of the reasons why we're harping big time on Ethereum is because if you look at the RWA, tokenized RWA, real world assets, 61.5% were tokenized on Ethereum. They weren't tokenized on BNB. They weren't tokenized on Solana. They weren't tokenized on Avalanche, Aptos. They were tokenized on Ethereum. So Ethereum is still number 2. Okay, it's slower, fees are high, all that stuff, but it's still the king when it comes to these kind of smart contract platforms. So it's important that you understand and know it, because you're likely to find some kind of thing, some program that has, or project that has some kind of EVM capability. And if you don't, if you're working on a smaller project, it's probably going to want to interact with EVM in some way, maybe, shape, or form. But we're dealing with a mitigation of your own risk out there, and you want to be at least familiar with Ethereum, to the point where if you are trying to become the generation 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockchain, which goes back to the blockchain and blockchain generation thing, you're working on that, right? Now, let's go back to that blockchain generation thing. I gave you guys that last week. I didn't see a lot of pushback on generations in the comments or in the papers, which is unfortunate. There is not a lot of academic backing for different generations. I'll post a couple of the things that are mentioned here that have citations for these things. There might be some out there that I missed. But the point is that I saw a lot of general talking about stuff, but nobody's saying, I couldn't find any background on this. I couldn't do this. Why? I don't think this is helpful. I do think this is helpful. Here's the reason why it's helpful. Okay. So quick note, real quick. Okay. When we're talking about academic writing, it's per full sentences, full paragraphs with citations. It's very important in APA 7 format. Okay. So keep this in mind. That's part of the graduate program, part of what you're doing, right? You're a graduate student, master's program or PhD level. Okay. Good. All right. Moving right along. Now, here are some interviews from Bitcoin 2025 when I was down there with some people that are part of the world, like Adam Back, who's mentioned in the Bitcoin white paper. These people hopefully can give you some insights into what's going on in the professional world. I'll post some of them this week. I'll post some of them next week. I had a bunch of people that I interviewed while I was down there. It was a lot of fun. It was an awesome time. And hopefully you get a lot out of this. I did too. And I'll see you guys next week. If you have any questions, michael.tabone@ucumberlands.edu. You guys know where to find me. Hello, class. I'm here with Dr. Adam Back. I'm honored to have him. We just had an awesome interview. And this guy is a legend. He's named in the white paper. I'm honored to have interviewed him. And just want to basically ask you, do you have any advice for students that are up and coming blockchain professionals in the future?
Yeah, I think it's still early for Bitcoin, and there is, opportunity in all different sectors of business. Whether that's business development, marketing, user interface, programming, all aspects of it, and it's just general company operations. So it's a growing sector, and I think the way to get involved is, to participate, to volunteer, to get to know people in the local Bitcoin setting. Typically, Bitcoin companies are, looking for somebody that has a track record, and an easy way to get a track record is to, use your local environment, people that you've known in the local ecosystem, or people that are contributing in documentation and support of open source projects and things like that. So there are lots of ways to get involved. There are also kind of like reseller programs for some of the hardware wallets in some jurisdictions. It can be a little bit slow to get equipment through customs, so they're a reseller program. So that's another way to get involved in a local, to be a reseller and attend the local Bitcoin meetups and sell devices and things in person as well. So actually helping people, right? Because then they get their equipment faster and without the import kerfuffle. So lots of ways to get involved, and I think it's still early, in fact, right? I think, of course, it's been a long time, and the price looks extremely high compared to what it did 5 years ago or something. But you can see from talking to the new wave of investors, they're still asking, questions that other people were asking 5 or even 10 years ago. So, a lot of money in the world is managed by professional money managers on behalf of individuals, like the pension funds, life insurance policies. They manage an awful lot of money, and they are barely into Bitcoin, but they're getting interested to do that. So I think that's the next kind of adoption driver, as well as just market momentum. People will buy when the price is high, because that's the psychology of it, right? The momentum.
Awesome. Thank you, Doctor. It was awesome.
Hello, students. I'm here with Allie Taggart, and she is from the NCA, and I'll let her explain a little bit of what that is first.
Awesome. The National Cryptocurrency Association is a new nonprofit here to help everyday Americans navigate the crypto landscape, to break through the hype and the jargon, and really shine a positive spotlight on everything that crypto is doing to help real Americans across the country.
And do you have any advice for the next generation of blockchain and Bitcoin professionals that are out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, being a woman in the field and being someone who actually just got into crypto over the last couple of years myself, it's never too late to start. You don't need to worry about the FOMO. You didn't miss the boat, and it's really just educate yourself, do your research, stay smart, stay safe. The same things that sort of affect anything with interacting with online technology, interacting with finance, those same principles apply. So don't trust people you don't know. Don't give your money to strangers online. But there's a lot of ways you can use crypto in your everyday life, from shopping to donating to giving money to loved ones or paying your teams all across the country. And so we're excited to continue to help people understand how to safely and responsibly engage with the technology.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It was great interviewing you, and it was awesome. I really appreciate it. Students, I'm here today with Benjamin Cowan from Into the Cryptoverse. I don't want to do your tagline for you, so if you want to do it. But so, Ben, do you have any advice for the up-and-coming blockchain professionals of the future?
I would say focus on building utility. Focus on building something that actually provides value, and focus on building something that people learn they cannot live without, right? If you think about the internet and everything great that came from the internet, we can't even imagine our lives without the internet today, right? It's part of our everyday life. We use it, we're using it, to do anything at this point. If you're gonna build in crypto, dubious speculation, right? Is what my sir says, right? Dubious speculation only gets you so far over a long enough period of time. So if you want to go out into the world and build something on blockchain, make sure you focus on building something real. Don't make false promises, because the industry gets tired of that after a while. And keep your head down and stay humble, right? I think that's what the best thing you can do. And over a long enough period of time, even though it might not feel like it in the moment, the market tends to reward those that work hard over a very long period of time. On any given day, it might not feel like that, and you might say, well, this project over here is just, they're not doing anything, and it looks like they're doing so great. But the market will reward those who work hard, I think, over a long enough period of time, and eventually you'll see that. It just takes a long time to see it.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. Hello, students. I'm here with Robert Massey from Diller. He's the man. We had a great conversation about, I know you might think taxes are boring, but they're a big part of what we do here in crypto. And I just want to ask, do you have any advice for students that are trying to become part of the next blockchain professionals out there?
Yeah, for sure. And I would say, accounting is always a great place to start your career. I'm an accountant. I'm a tax professional. But what we're doing is we're getting into new types of commercial activities using a new asset class. And so to the extent that you get in early and understand how this stuff works, how it's different than old world transactions, and understand how transactions in Bitcoin are different than transactions in other securities, commodities, or currency, understand those differences, understand the asset class, class. Start to build that knowledge base now. Get into examples where you can learn it, study it, write it down, build positions, start to build that muscle and hygiene. Great way to start your career, and that will pay lots of dividends in the careers that you're about to embark on. So people have said for a long time, accounting is a great language to get started in. I would say 10x that if you can get into accounting and tax with regard to crypto, specifically Bitcoin.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the interview.
This is great. Really.
I'm here with Ivan Kalik, and he's the CEO of Hive. We just had a great conversation about a lot of technical things, a lot of business things. It was fantastic. Do you have any words of wisdom for the upcoming Bitcoiners and I hate to say crypto people in the whole entire, the next generation of professionals that are coming out of the University of the Cumberland?
I mean, I'll keep it simple. I would say stack Satoshis, get some good cold storage, buy some Bitcoin. If you're nervous about the price, just pick an amount you're comfortable with and buy a fixed amount every month over the next 5 years, and you'll thank me later. Yeah, it'll all average out. And I think if you're really interested in crypto mining, follow Hive Digital Technologies on Twitter. You can follow my account as well. I can like Hive, and we post a lot of insights. We've got a phenomenal growth strategy in Paraguay right now. 300 megawatts of hydro-powered energy from the world's largest hydro dam, powered by the world's largest waterfall system in the ocean. It's amazing. It's hydro energy, green energy mine. Bitcoin will be at 17.5 joules a terahash for all you technical guys out there. That means our break-even hash price is going to be about $20 petahash a day. So we'll be mining profitably into the next halving event, is what I anticipate at least. And I think that it's a very exciting time to be in Bitcoin. We're here at the phenomenal Bitcoin Vegas 2025 conference. I had an amazing conversation with this extremely intelligent man who asked amazing questions. And buy that Bitcoin, invest in Hive, I think. I mean, hey, otherwise I wouldn't be committing every waking hour to making us the best crypto miner.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you.